I do the right thing, Lord? What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bria K. If you are new here, welcome. Hello. If you've been here before, what's up? Welcome back. So today, you all, I really just want to give you a rundown or a follow-up post denouncing my affiliation with Greek organization as a Christian and what that's like. Do I regret it? We're just going to get into all those things because I know y'all saw the boom and the explosion of all the believers coming out this year. Yeah, that was not by accident. That was very intentional by God. And I just want to share what it's been like making such a permanent decision, because you cannot go back. Once you come out, they're like, yes, bye. So first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge all of the supports, all of the testimonies that came through from me posting my testimony. I had several young women, mothers, sisters, aunts, cousins reach out for themselves personally or on somebody else's behalf, just saying how my testimony was confirmation to help them come out. It helped deter some people from joining. So I acknowledge each and every one of you. I appreciate it. And it just helps me to confirm that I'm doing what I need to be doing in the sight of the Lord, and we are going to get free together. All right. So I did privately renounce last year in April 2023 before any of this got posted, right? And so I'm gonna take y'all a bit through that process because my emotions at that time were quite different than they are now. And so I'm actually gonna roll the clip and show y'all me moments after severing ties with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Let's roll it right here. And this, oh my gosh. I'm so basic. But this is what obedience to God looks like. Some stuff you get asked to do is very painful. I renounced my membership in my sorority. And I knew it was time because for the last 3 nights I've had dreams about the same scenario that we as Christians are called to do. Is very hard. It's not rainbows and sunshines, but obedience is greater than sacrifice. And I have no doubt that God will be glorified through this. So yeah, I just wanted to share this transparent moment because I keep trying to hold my tears in, but they're coming. I thought that it was just gonna be easy. Like, okay, God, I know you asked me to do this, boom. But it's like as soon as I did it, it's like a wall broke, and I've been in tears for like 10 minutes. And to me, it's just further confirmation that it had to happen because there's obviously like a soul tie or something deeper attachment than just being in an organization. So I just did that final step, and I really feel like something broke in the spirit, y'all. Like, I can't explain it. Of course, like I said, I'm gonna do a whole video, or just like, well, as the Lord leads, honestly, as the Lord leads, I'll come out with, I'll say what he wants me to say, of course. But the fact that I could not even hold my tears, like I'm literally trying to get back to work and I had to pull over and cry, it lets me know that like spiritual ties were broken, which leads me back to the point of doing this. This isn't to hate on any ladies in the organization. They're all lovely, successful in their own right, but there are spiritual oaths and rituals that are done at the point of initiation that I could not take with me on my walk with Christ anymore. So check in with y'all soon. All right, y'all. And so the emotions that you see displayed there were not my emotions. That was a spiritual cry. That was a soul cry. Like, I was fine leading up to it throughout the process, writing my official letter and everything. But as soon as I did the final step in severing my affiliation with Delta, it's like something broke spiritually. Something broke on a soul level, right? Those tears were not just me sad because I'm separating from the organization. I could literally feel something break off of me. And at that time, I didn't know what it was. And so I texted my girls and I was like, hey, can y'all pray for me? Like, I just finalized this process and I am not good, but what I know it to be now is the Lord was severing or breaking certain spirits off of me, or certain things that had legal rights and access to attach to me to hinder me in certain areas of my life, One of those being very evident. If y'all see, I was a lot heavier in that video, right? That was about almost this time last year. And I was dieting and exercising regularly, right? But it wasn't until I fully came out of Delta. Y'all can call me crazy, I don't care. But it wasn't until I fully came out of Delta and I was fasting and seeing what was attached to me and everything like that, that God broke that seal and allowed me to fully, drop a nice amount of weight. And I have been able to keep it off. So we'll get more into that later. But that was just one aspect of what God broke off of me. What came immediately after me leaving the organization was grief. Supposed to hurt. It's supposed to hurt when you walk away from something that was once a part of you. You have memories, you have attachments to it, right? It was a grieving process. It was so funny. Like the days following me renouncing privately last year, all of a sudden I was just running into deltas everywhere. Like, I kid y'all not. I was actually in this parade with my company and our colors just so happen to be red and white. And who gets behind us is like a sea of deltas, like just a sea of deltas. I was like, really, God? Following that, we had another company event and I'm sitting at the table with more deltas and they're talking Greek life. And I'm like, is now a good time to drop this bomb that I just came out? So, it was just, I was challenged in many ways. I'm like, Lord, did I do the right thing? Because why you got all these deltas up in my face like this? But, sometimes the devil likes to trick you, likes to make you question if what you did for God was really for God, or tries to just make you confused. So at first I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this many deltas in my city in a long time. Now all of a sudden they're coming out the woodworks. But y'all know, like I said, the devil can orchestrate stuff to make you confused and question God. So I paid that no mind. I kept on trekking. Since it was a private matter, I didn't tell anybody initially. I told my previous line sisters. And then I really just recently told my family because I was about to post it publicly. So I didn't have to deal with a lot of backlash or anything until I posted it publicly. Around October 2023, I really started feeling and seeing the Lord shift in my life behind the scenes and spiritually. A lot of people don't know I went through this, but that's what I'm telling you now. So if you know me in real life, if you knew me maybe like in school and things like that, people would describe me as very quiet, introverted, kind of like to myself, in a shell, all these things, right? But I never really felt like that was me. I knew that wasn't me. It was just a shell of myself that I had picked up somewhere along the line. I did suffer from major anxiety. I got to a point of social anxiety and just fear of speaking, public speaking, like all these things weighed pretty heavily on me. But at the same time, outside of my day job, I have a nonprofit, and the Lord began calling me to host events, or I would have to host them. Speak at them, engage people. And I'm like, Lord, I'm so scared. I can't do this. I was like, I literally cannot. Like, I would get sick to my stomach. I would be losing sleep. I would have the worst anxiety attacks. I would cancel the events. Like, it was just really bad. Okay. And so around October 2023, after I had privately renounced, the Lord asked me to host another event. And I'm like, Lord, I absolutely cannot. And through tears, I was like, okay, I'm doing this, Lord. I don't know what you're doing. I have it on video. Let me insert the clip, then I'll come back. Sorry if my voice is shaky, y'all. But I'm going to record this time before the blessing and the break. It's Thursday, October 19th, 2023. And I have an event in a few days, ironically, about defeating anxiety and depression. And right now, I'm having a lot of anxiety. Just been full of anxiety, but that God is more faithful than whatever I'm feeling right now. My pre-testimony video, I know God is about to do some wonderful, miraculous things through this event. It's going to be a breakthrough event for my life and so many others. So as y'all can see, I was like, Lord, I don't know what you're doing. I said, but I know that you're doing something in me and you're breaking something off of me. And he really was, y'all. So I carried forth with that event. And it's like each time I was obedient to God and just carrying forth these events, he was breaking fear off of me. And I didn't know that it was on me. But while I was in Greek life, these things had legal rights and access to me. When you're associated to anything that is in direct opposition to God, such as being a part of a Greek organization as a believer, and you're serving two masters, you're in association with two different gods, that leaves legal rights and access for the devil to come in and wreak havoc in your life in any way that he wants to, right? And it looks different for everybody. So what I'm telling you all today may not apply if you're a Christian and you're Greek. It can look totally different, but my experience was the Lord lifted the spirit of fear, anxiety, worry, doubt, and gluttony off of me as soon as I got out of this Greek organization, right? And so he began calling me to do things that would normally raise great fear in me, but where there used to be fear, I had great faith. And I'm telling y'all, this is stuff I have been trying to get off the ground for years. It's not that I wasn't putting in the work. I was putting in more hours. I was putting in more effort. I was putting in more time, but it was as if I was stuck on this hamster wheel, okay? It's like I couldn't access who God actually made me to be until I came fully out of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It was like there was a glass ceiling or a cap on who I was. Yes, I still experienced God because God is good. God was good. God's always going to be good. But because of my attachment, I was limiting his ability to come in and fully take over and do what he wants to do in my life, right? There was legal access, like demons, spirits, everything had access to me, and it was literally holding me back in life. It was as if I was just running forward, and all these spirits, like the spirit of fear, stagnancy, stuckness, was just pulling me back. I'm like, Lord, why am I just like going in circles, right? Just living in cycles, putting the work in, putting the hours in, no results, right? So October comes, I do that event. And then what I feel like was the final test, or like the final step, came. The Lord asked me to publicly denounce my membership with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated on what would have been my 10-year anniversary in April 2024. So just a few months ago. That took a different level of faith and trust in the Lord, and a whole bunch of prep and pep talk from the Lord. And so I recorded it and I posted it. I kid y'all not. The spirit of fear and anxiety broke off of my life entirely. Like stuff I had been a slave to, just like that fear of public speaking, fear of speaking up in certain spaces, fear of hosting events that the Lord was calling me to do, fear just at random times throughout the day, fear, it consumed me. And when I say as soon as I posted that video, it broke. I felt so free. I still do feel free. I am free, but I just felt light as a feather and free to proceed with everything God has called me to and to be who God has called me to be. It was as if when I was still tied to being a Delta, the version of myself that you see today was inaccessible. I didn't have access to who I am in Christ today when I was still a Delta. I was Bree, but it was, like I said, it was Bree right here. When I let the strings of Delta go, it was like God was like, okay, here you are, daughter. This is who I've called you to be. This is what I've had in store for you all along. I'm telling you, I can go back to my notes, my notebooks from 2019, 2018, 2017. Well, I wasn't saved yet, but I can just show y'all previous prayers and outlines and stuff that I had been trying to do for years while I was still a Delta. I got a text that would not come to pass. And I'm like, Lord, what now? When I fully renounced privately, when I fully denounced publicly my membership, I'm experiencing the fullness of God. That is all I'll say. I want to brag on God in many ways, but I don't want that to take up or be the bulk of this video. So I'll show y'all at the end of this video a little bit of what God has been doing since I publicly renounced and denounced. But I do want y'all to take away that if you are a Christian and you are Greek, that does not mean that God does not love you. It does not mean that you cannot experience God or know God, because I was very much still a Christian when I was a Delta, right? But I was only experiencing God to a certain capacity or a certain level. The depths of my relationship with Jesus Christ has deepened. It has just grown immensely in ways that I could not imagine nor fathom while I was still a Delta, right? It wasn't until I fully severed ties that I unlocked the new levels that God had for me in life. I had been trying, I'm telling y'all, I have been trying to lose weight for so long. I have been trying to get some things off the ground with my nonprofit. I had just been trying to no avail. And then God was like, let me get this for you, daughter. let's move Delta out the way so that when God does what he's doing in my life, he can get all the glory, which he absolutely deserves, right? And so now he's making things happen in my life. He's allowing me to be who I always knew I was, but I couldn't access this girl until I broke the ties and the demonic ties of Greek life off of me, right? So you can still know God. You can still know about God. It's going to be kind of limited. Like there's going to be like a glass ceiling, like I said. And this is something your natural mind cannot comprehend while you're still in it. So if you're watching this and you're Greek and you're Christian, it's going to be natural for your brain to say, oh, I know God. I'm a Christian. I go to church. Yes, I was too. But I didn't know that deeper depths of relationship with Jesus Christ existed. I didn't know that God had more for me. Like he gonna take care of you. If you're his child, if you're in relationship with God, he's going to take care of you. But it was down here. Now that I've done what I needed to do and severed ties, it's up here, right? So just hope that you take away when you're attached to certain things that are in direct opposition with God, you're in error. When you're in error and you're operating like that, that gives the devil legal rights into your life. Check the Bible. The devil has to have legal grounds to do certain things most times, right? And so for me, it looked like attaching fear and worry and doubt and all these mental and spiritual roadblocks so that I couldn't be who God called me to be and take me where he's taken me so that I could impact the lives he's called me here to impact, right? For you, it could look like, you've been trying to have children for years, and it might look like, the enemy's attacking your womb or something like that, and you don't even know it, but you're a Christian and you're Greek. As soon as you come out, you might just be able to bear children, or you might get that financial breakthrough. It looks different in everybody's life because there are different demons and devils assigned to each of our lives depending on our purpose. And so they have legal rights and access to step in and hinder us in whatever ways they want, as long as we're attached to things that God doesn't want us attached to. So this can look like you having unexplained sicknesses and illnesses and diseases in your body, diabetes, blood stuff going on, pains, just random diseases and sicknesses that have no explanation. The devil has legal rights, right? But you're Christian and you're Greek, so you're like, God got me. Yes, he does, but he wants to get you to another level so he can get you for real. If you hear what I'm saying, I hope you do. But in short or long, no, I do not regret renouncing and denouncing my membership with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It was probably the best thing I ever could have done. It unlocked who God called me to be. It took all the stipulations and just limitations and hindrances off of my life spiritually, mentally, physically, like in every regard, every aspect. And at the end of this video, I'll just show y'all a glimpse of what the Lord has done in the past few months. It's only been a few months since I posted that video. Already in 3 months, the Lord has done more than he really was allowing in my life for the past 5+ years while I was still tied to being a Delta. So he makes up for lost time. All you got to do is go ahead and be obedient and say yes to the Lord, no to the things of this world, and watch God move mountains on your behalf. So without further ado, I'll see y'all right back here soon. Bye, guys. Peace.